on YouTube to watch back later. So if you don't want to be on camera at all, that's fine. And we'll probably do cameras off when we're talking, Stuart, or should we leave cameras on?
Yeah, I guess the people talking can have their cameras on, eh?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
In fact, no, like, so do you mean like right now?
Yeah, just after everyone said hello.
Oh, no, cameras on is fine.
Yeah?
Just as long as people don't have the mics on, all good.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay, excellent. I think everyone's just sort of filtering in. It's taking a minute. But they'll be here soon. Gosh, there's so many of you guys. This is nice. We've got over 50 people now. Hopefully we don't hit 100. Yeah. Some people are going to be disappointed. It's so nice. I see so many. I see Marisa. Hello. I see Ian. Hi, Ian. I see Hazel. I see Emma. Oh, I see Jenny Pearson. Hello, Jenny. EFP. Hello. I'm just like calling out random people, by the way. They're not like my favorites. I'm just shouting out random names. I see Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, so many people. Emma Reed. Hi, Emma. Sue and Daisy. Oh, everyone's here. My gosh. And people are still filtering in. This is crazy. Oh. Okay. Should we give it another minute or do you want to get going?
Just get going.
Should we get going?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on things.
Excellent. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stuart's book launch. Yay. Everyone obviously knows Stuart that's here. Stuart is, of course, our gaffer here at WriteMentor, and we're very excited to be hosting his book launch, especially online where so many of you can come, which is really nice because I think it can be a little bit prohibitive sometimes to have the real life book launches. So it's really nice to see everyone here today. So I'll do a little introduction, not that he needs one. So Stuart's a writer and secondary school teacher who has undeterred passion for helping people, whether it's his students at school or the writers have joined the WriteMentor community. Hi, guys. He has a master's degree in creative writing and founded and now runs WriteMentor. In 2020 and 2022, he was placed on the SCWBI Undiscovered Voices longlist and has been named as an honorary mention for his novel Ghosts of Mars. Sound familiar, guys? And Astra, FireStar and the Ripples of Time. Stuart's ethos focuses on making writing more accessible and affordable, something that is at the heart of everything he does and motivates him to make WriteMentor help as many people as possible. He makes sure WriteMentor is always open, warm and welcoming. As a writer himself, he understands what you need to help you pick you up as well as improve and take the next step in your career. Stuart was included in the Booksellers 2021 list of rising stars in the publishing industry, and his middle grade novel, Ghosts of Mars, is available right now. So if you haven't got it already, but I'm pretty sure everyone here has probably pre-ordered or ordered because I saw so many pictures on Twitter. It's just been a wall of Stuart's book today. So that is amazing. So a little bit about the book in case you guys just haven't had a chance to open it. And I can see everyone saying congratulations. That's nice. So Ghosts of Mars is about Eva, the first Martian-born human, and her mission to save her dad's life. With a type 1 diabetic main character, Ghosts of Mars explores how life beyond Earth and the fame and scrutiny that comes with it affects young people involved who didn't sign up for life on Mars. And 10% of author profits go to Diabetes UK. So I thought we could do maybe a little reading, Stuart, if you wanted to kick us off with that.
Yeah, sure.
We haven't had time to open it yet. Everyone's on half term. Everyone's stressed. They're getting excited to read the book. Give us a taster.
Yeah, no worries. I should say I didn't actually write that bio either. I don't know. Was it you that wrote it, Florian?
No, I didn't write
it. All right. Okay. Well, someone
did write that. Oh my god.
Someone else wrote it.
It's just made up.
I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
I think my bio is a bit more daft than that. But anyway, there you go. That was the official one. Okay, let's do a wee reading then. I'll save you from listening too long and just do the first little section. So this is Ghosts of Mars, Chapter 1, the first. The world outside the window is infinitely more exciting than the colony nursery. Drones buzz around, carrying small crates. Astronauts bounce around the landing pad, making final checks for the incoming rocket. A dozen or so maintenance workers are cleaning solar panels, test driving the rovers, and checking the water recycling and moisture vaporizer machines. Far off, a dust devil whirls across the surface of Mars like a fiery tornado, throwing dust and rocks around. I ping the elastic band on my wrist, and my mind is back in the room. The sudden snap in my skin increases blood flow, improves alertness, apparently. And I need both right now. A room full of young Martians and Earthlings gaze up at me, sitting cross-legged in 4 rows, making the nursery feel tiny. The room smells of spilt porridge and sweaty socks, only slightly masked by Mr. Quark's body odour. My nose wrinkles every time he walks past. The oxygenator isn't recycling air fast enough to remove the lingering stink. Seriously, I'd rather scrub the solar panels out there than stand in here. Eva, tell us what it's like to be famous. A kid right at the front, a young Martian born I recognise, asks a question to break the silence. I should have started talking already. Mr. Quark introduced me, as everyone always does, Eva Knight, the first Martian born, as if he needed to. But I haven't said any of the words I'd rehearsed with Dad last night. There's a large image of me in the telescreen. Always images of me everywhere. This one from Halloween a few years ago. And I dressed up as a solar flare, my red hair styled up at an angle like a fork of lightning. Warm reds and oranges in my little dress. Have you ever been to Earth? What's your favourite planet? Are you friends with Hercus Armstrong? I heard from my dad that she won the 2045 Strongest Person on Mars competition. A loud chorus of woo comes from the kids. It's the Martian Olympics, I whisper. Mr. Quark moves to the front, holding a finger to his lips. Settle down, kids. Let Eva speak. He smiles at me and nods, probably trying to reassure me. But I've never been less assured in my life. It's like the kids are growing larger, or the room is getting smaller. They're closing in on me. I glance out the window, and it calms me enough to act. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I run out of the nursery and bump into the last person I want to see right now. I think that'll do for just now.
Woo! I see lots of applause. It's very nice. I mean, imagine if we were all in the same room, that would be very loud applause because there are 86 people here right now. So, we thought it might be fun to do some. Is it 2 lies and a truth? It's that way around, isn't it? Not two truths and a lie. Two lies and a truth. So yeah, that's you, Florian. So do you want to read us out some lines of 2 lies and a truth, and we can try and guess some things about Stuart?
Yes, we're going to do a quiz. And yeah, I'm going to read out 2 lies and 1 truth about Stuart. And you guys have got to guess which one is the truth. So just to find out a little bit more about the writer behind the book. So, okay, so I'll read out the answers after I've read them all out. So if you guys want to write it down or just, guess in your head. So number 1, Stuart used to work as, so either as a rugby coach, in the treasury of a bank, or for the European Space Agency. That's number 1. So what did Stuart used to do before he was a teacher and a successful author? Number 2, what is Stuart's real first name? A, Robert, B, Harrison, or C, Douglas? Number 3, who did Stuart once get told off by for swearing? Was it A, Robert Carlyle, who is an actor in Trainspotting, B, David Tennant from Doctor Who, or C, Cilla Black? So who told Stuart off for swearing? 4, so we know Stuart is a champion writer, but what is another one of his big life achievements? So A, Stuart is the 2016 champion for haggis tossing in the Glasgow area. B, Stuart scored a try in the Scottish Club Rugby Cup at Murrayfield in 2008. Or C, Stuart has won the parent-teacher race 4 times in a row during school sports day. And number 5, Stuart's favourite book is A, The Martian, B, Twilight, or C, Lord of the Rings. So let's see who knows Stuart best. Right. So Stuart, do you want to say the answer to your real life?
Yeah, I'll give everyone a wee sec. If you want to, you can put your answers in the chat.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Exactly. Yeah, let's
have like a vote.
Yeah, I'd love to see what everyone's answer was.
I know, yeah. Oh, Ian's on it.
Yeah, let's see what everyone thought number 1 was. What did Stuart used to work as?
It's the most boring one. I used to work in the treasury of the bank.
Loads of people saying rugby coach in the chat.
Everyone said rugby coach. Oh, that's nice, Stuart.
No, I actually did coach rugby, but that's a voluntary thing. Unfortunately, it wasn't my job. So
trick question, guys. Trick question.
Yeah.
I'll reread the question as well, just because I've got Philip said what was the question to that one. So I'll say, so number 2, what is Stuart's real first name? So it's Robert, Harrison, or Douglas. So what did everyone think in the chat? So we've got Douglas, Robert, Harrison.
A lot of Roberts.
Douglas. Okay, Stuart, what is
Yeah, I was unfortunately christened Wee Bobby, as we say in Scotland. Bobby's short for Robert, sorry, I should say.
Robert, yeah. If anyone's seen your old email, that would give it a clue a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3, who did Stuart want to get told off by for swearing? So he said the train spotting actor, David Tennant from Doctor Who, or Cilla Black.
Everyone thinks it's Cilla.
Loads of
Love it.
David Tennant. You wish it was David Tennant, Stuart.
I do wish it was David Tennant.
No. What was the answer?
Yeah, it was Begbie.
Yeah, we've got some. Emma got it, Alex got it, Fiona got it. I saw a couple of others as well up here.
He used to live in the set of flats below us, and I think I banged my shin when I was opening my car door, and I swore, and he was walking past with his kid, and he covered the kid's ear and told me off.
Can you imagine getting like told off for swearing by someone who actually...
I know. I thought it was pretty rich, but
I'm impressed. That's
such a good one.
We're talking of achievements. So I said, what was another of your big achievements? So it was the haggis tossing, the trying the rugby cup, or the parent-teacher school sports race.
Okay. Elizabeth thinks parent-teacher. Haggis tossing from Ellie.
Oh my God, I wish it was haggis tossing.
I want to do haggis tossing. A few rugbies. Daisy really wants it to be haggis.
Haggis, please. Yeah, I'm also thinking that, like, capital letters in my head as well, Daisy. Like haggis.
Yeah, Marisa thinks haggis. Tara thinks parent race.
What was it, Stuart?
It was probably the most boring one, but the rugby thing.
It's not boring.
We won the rugby club cup.
Caroline said it's not haggis. I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
disappointed, Caroline. That's it.
I wanted it to be haggis too.
Joanna got it.
A career in haggis tossing so that we can all enjoy that for your next book launch as a fact.
Yeah, that's true. You should do that.
And the final one, Stuart's favourite book is The Martian, Twilight, or Lord of the Rings. I know which one I wish it was as well, but let's see what everyone else thought. Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Looks like people know you quite well, Stuart.
Yes.
Twilight Orbs, yes.
Yeah, I think
Hazel says we all wish it was Twilight. Amazing.
What was it then, Stuart? I think everyone knows you very well.
Yeah, it was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I've still got the battered copy from when I was a teenager. One of those things, growing up in the household I did, I always wanted to escape, and we had this sort of semi-floored loft, and I would go up there and sit for hours devouring that book. It was one of the few books that I liked that we had in the house. So yeah, it's an old favourite.
Everyone is asking which one's your favourite of the 3.
Oh, good question.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, probably Fellowship, the first one, but yeah, the one I've got is actually all 3 in one book.
That must be
humongous.
massive.
It is humongous, yeah, and it's paperback as well. I don't even know if they still do those, but
oh my gosh, that's so cool. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, now we've learned a little bit about Stuart. Now we're going to learn about Mars. So if you haven't read the book, guys, it's going to be really difficult because Stuart has very much researched Mars for the book. It is very accurate. I'm looking at his face. He's like, yeah, sure. It's really accurate. So I thought we could ask some Mars questions. Okay. So again, I'll read them out if you want to jot it down, and then we'll do the chat at the end and you can tell me what you think the answers are. So, okay. First one is name 2 Martian rovers. Name 2 Martian rovers. Trying to think how many Martian rovers are there, Stuart?
6, I think.
Yeah, there's not many. I didn't think. There we go. So you only need to name 2, so it's really easy, really. Amazing. So question 2, how many moons does Mars have? Bonus for names. And I'm watching you guys. I know if you're on Google, I'll know. Okay. Number 3, what gives Mars its reddish hue? So why is Mars red? Which of course is very much the style of the book. Nice red and orange, which I hear is a very good cover to have, guys. I'm not biased, but I hear red cover is really good. Number 4, which number of planet is Mars going out from the sun? So if I don't know if I'll give it. So if Mercury's the closest to the sun, like what number out is Mars? And the last question, what is the name given to the small tornadoes that form on Mars and feature in Ghosts of Mars to exaggerated effect? I think these are also in The Martian to exaggerated effect, are they not? Or something similar anyway. But yeah, the small tornadoes that form on Mars.
Yeah, I think that you were talking about the science of the book earlier on. This is something I've done as well, as taking creative liberty with some of the science.
What? I thought this was a documentary. No,
yeah, so if you read something, think, oh, I don't think that's quite right, then that'll be why.
No, it's fine. Like, obviously, it's, we've got to big up children's literature. Plus, no one's actually living on Mars yet, Stuart. We might have got some things wrong, and you might have got them completely right, and we'll find out. Richard's saying we need multiple choices. So you see, Richard, when you read the book and learn all the things, then you'll know all of this. No, I'm obviously kidding, but these are quite hard, to be fair. Actually, a few of these are pretty difficult. So, okay, name 2 Martian rovers. Anyone want to have a go in the chat? This should be interesting. I will also give a point for my favorite name. Okay, Pathfinder, Beagle, they sound good to me, actually. Roy of the Rovers and the Dog Next Door, yes.
Oh, I can see a couple of old ones there as well.
Sharon and Dave, Daisy, you get a point.
Yeah,
I guess
Sharon and Dave is good.
They have fired a whole ton of them up there that were unsuccessful. So
yeah. Spirit, Opportunity, they sound right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like these. There's some good ones. Here. I'm trying to think what they all are actually. Anton Deck, my favorite 2 rovers. Imagine if something happened to one of them. That would be so sad. Enterprise, Perseverance. Do you remember all the names of all of them, Stuart, or should I check them?
Yeah, let's just say they're all. Yeah, the sensible answers all look right.
Yeah, it's Sojourner, Spirit, an Opportunity, Curiosity, Perseverance.
Sojourner, I think that's the one. I can't remember which way around it is. Is that not the Pathfinder one as well? So
yes,
if you say Pathfinder, I think that's
yeah. One of them got renamed from Pathfinder. I think it was Perseverance, wasn't it?
No, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Sojourner was also.
Definitely anyway. Pathfinder. Yeah. I remember. Okay, next question. How many moons does Mars have? Anyone got a number for me? 2 seems popular. Alison's gone 3. I like it, Alison. It's rogue. It's bold. Richard as well. Colin's gone 4 because why not? How many are there, Stuart?
There's 2. Phoebus and Deimos.
Fabulous and Deimos.
Do you know when you're about to say something that you've never said aloud that much and you've only read? and you're like,
yes, all the time, because we're writers. It happens all the time.
Yeah, so I hope I've pronounced them properly.
Alan's has asked where Io is. Io's a moon on a different planet, isn't it?
Jupiter, I think.
Jupiter, yeah. Amazing. Yes, Jennifer said Jupiter. Okay, so anyone know what gives Mars its reddish hue? Why are we the blue planet and they're the red planet? Iron. Something to do with iron content. See, everyone's smart here. Everyone's a scientist. I like this. We've worked it out. Rusty, ketchup. Rust, I think, counts because iron. I've decided.
Yeah, it's oxidized iron. So
exactly.
That's what rust is. Yeah, so
that's perfect. Tara says fire. That's a different book, Tara. That's a much scarier book. Entire fire planet. Amazing. Which number of planet is Mars going out from the sun? Everyone got the mnemonic? 4. Yeah. My very easy method just speeds up naming planets if we include Pluto. 4. Yeah.
Some good Key Stage 3 science knowledge there.
That's as far as it got. Key Stage 3. And what is the name given to the small tornadoes that form on Mars and feature in Ghosts of Mars? Anybody know? I actually don't know this. Dust devils. That sounds plausible. Alex Page says. Marisa says no idea. Whirligigs. I like that, Carrie. I can't say it, but that sounds amazing. Whispers, dust clouds. Some interesting ideas here. Dust devils. What's the answer then, Stuart?
It's dust devils.
Just dust devils. Oh, amazing. Well done.
And they are slightly exaggerated in the book. just to make them seem more dangerous than they actually
Tiny
are.
bit exaggerated, guys. Ah, amazing. Well done, everyone. I actually was quite impressed with your space knowledge. And I think I think everybody got what number Mars was from the sun. So we all learned our mnemonic, so that's fine. Poetic license, Alison says. I like it, Alison. I'm enjoying your answers being thrown out today. Okay, so I thought, guys, we could now have a bit of a Q&A. So what we'll do is just pop a question in the chat. You okay with that, Stuart? And we'll just
just before we do that, I just want to say a couple of quick thanks to the people who helped produce the book.
Yeah, great idea. So while Stuart's saying thanks, think of questions, guys.
Yeah, because the whole self-publishing thing's a total misnomer, isn't it? Because actually loads of people involved in these things. So obviously the cover that you can see, I never get it the right way, that way, behind me there, which Jen did. I'm not sure if Jen's in the room tonight, but let me just check before I say anything. I can embarrass her more if she's not. But yeah, the cover is obviously is top class, and I was very lucky that she was able to produce something which was better than what I had envisaged. And obviously it's the number one thing when people are looking at books, isn't it? Is the cover. So it's so important you get that right, and she has nailed that. So that is that's something I'm hugely appreciative for. I know I've emailed you, Jen, a load of times about this, but thanks for agreeing to do that and take a punt on someone who is not with a big publisher or anything. So yeah, thank you for doing that for the cover. Also Emma Reid, who's here, I think, who way back in, I think it was 2018, I started writing this, and you were reading through the first few chapters and drafts of this, and then obviously helped me with the developmental edits more recently on it, and you've been a big help and a big support with the book, because I was going to chuck it in the bin at one point, and even as recently as like September, October, I think I was pretty much done with it. So thanks for helping me through all that and get to the stage that it's at just now. To Emma as well, Emma FP, if you're here, for giving the book its final reads, just to check through for everything, do all the proof editing and so on. Obviously you picked up on a lot of my typos and missed words and other such things, so thanks so much for doing that. A lot of you are here tonight actually who beta read the book as well. Again, I think this was back in September or so, when I was kind of losing faith a bit. And so the response I got from people was the right kind of response, which was really positive, and you gave me a lot of ideas and food for thought as well. So thanks to everyone who read for me at that stage as well. And Florian, who has been helping me with the publicity for the book. It's really hard when you're on your own to sort of get the word out about something you've made, especially when you're someone like me who hates talking about these things. I find it really difficult. So thanks for taking charge of some of those and contacting people and helping get it in front of various people. I know there's a few things coming out in the next week or two, isn't there, as a result of all of those things you did. So thanks so much for that. And obviously thanks just to everyone as well, who's here and maybe who's not here, who supported me with it. And Joe Clark actually, who's I think is here, who revealed it in September, I think it was as well. We get such a good response for it. I was a bit blown away. And yeah, so thanks very much for again, Joe, for for doing a cover reveal for someone who's self-published, because again, the temptation can be to sort of only go with the trad published people, and yeah, lots of people have been kind to me and sort of let me, I guess, even with something that's a bit untested and untried, get some help with that. So anyway, thank you. And obviously I probably missed loads of people, sorry, but that was just a few people that sprung to mind, and I just wanted to say thank you. Definitely couldn't have done it without you guys and a lot more people as well that are involved. So yeah, thanks.
Woo! Amazing. Yeah, there's so many people to name, aren't there? And you're always worried you're going to miss somebody, but but there are 95. I think there are 1.96 people right here as well. So thank you to literally absolutely everyone that's here, because so exciting.
Sorry, I keep thinking of more people. Basically, no, it's fine. I won't go on all night, but I've put people in the acknowledgements as well of the book. So there's like that is a laundry list of people in that. So do have a wee look at that as well. Anyway, I don't want to rabbit on and waste the whole thing. Just
thanking people.
Whittering
Easy
on.
to do. So many people. Yeah. Well, we got loads of questions. What's Stuart telling us? Oh, yeah, I know that's how long you were talking. No, I'm joking. It was only a couple of minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad for that. It's like, I think it's like a teacher thing.
We love it. Fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Anne asked, how long did it take you to write?
Good, right, okay. So writing the first draft didn't take too long, but I'm quite a fast writer, and I'm quite a bursty writer. Like I write in quite intense bursts. It just suits my personality quite a lot. Rather than doing like some people do like 1,000 words a day. I'm not really like that, unfortunately. It was quite quick over a few sort of 2-3 week bursts. But there was some big pauses where like things didn't go so well. I started it during like the worst health period of my life when I was having radiation treatment, and I wasn't well. I remember having to isolate. This was pre-COVID, 2018, I think it was. Having to isolate from the family for like 20 odd days, and that was part of the the foundations of starting to write it and so on. So so it started back then, and I guess if you include editing and so on, which actually, like I was editing something in the manuscript a couple of weeks ago, and then re-uploading the new file and stuff. So I guess it's going on for quite a while, and obviously in fits and bursts.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people here will relate to that.
Yeah.
I can see loads of new messages, and I bet people are just like, okay. So lots of people saying the cover's fantastic. Just to embarrass Jen some more, because I have seen she's in the chat, so I'm sure she can see how much people love her cover. So Ian says, what are your plans for other books? I guess if this is a series, but also maybe other books you might be self-publishing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more books in this series as well. I've got some ideas. Like 2 big ideas for the next 2 books in this one, but I've also got I think I was spamming you guys with my timeline the other day, so I've got 5 more in the works for the next 2 years. So the plan is to work really, really hard and and try and get some more books out, and and like I don't know, I just feel like I've spent a lot of my life with nobody ever reading my work, and so I think that's the plan going forward. So write more in this series to self-publish some of the other things that I have written or I'm currently writing, and I might still sub a few things to agents. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I've completely stopped in terms of going down that path or not, but yeah.
So
we'll
taking it easy, not much.
Yeah.
Right. As
just resting on my laurels with one book.
So Alison says, why Mars? She also says, and not the moon. I was thinking of Artemis, which of course is where Andy Weir went after Mars. But why Mars?
Yeah, it was funnily enough. I think you've read this book, Melissa, but I have got another one that's set on the moon. It's a YA murder mystery.
You do.
I think you've read that one. But anyway. I have done the moon as well. But yeah, Mars. Yeah, but Mars is like it's one of those things that's fascinated me since I was a kid. I remember reading H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. The books we had in my house were all really old classic ones, so that was one of the ones I read. And then I read there's a C.S. Lewis trilogy. It's called the Space Trilogy, and in his first book he goes to Mars and such things. And it's anyway, I've been kind of fascinated with it since childhood and just space in general. So when I read Red Rising, which is a YA book set in a future Mars, and The Martian, obviously back in it was 2015 or so, I think I read them. I had an idea for writing this book in this series. So that's the foundation of the idea, I guess. Like but also I love the the opportunity to go somewhere that's completely different. And so you're not just, it takes world building to a whole new level where you're literally changing the pressure and the gravity and the atmosphere and basically every single condition that, and that one of the challenges that the character in the book faces is the fact that her organs have developed under Martian atmospheric conditions rather than Earth ones, and so that creates a huge physical barrier for her in terms of how she relates to kids who are from Earth and so on. So so I was fascinated by all of that stuff, and I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to put someone who's born on Mars into this situation and take the story from there.
Yeah, it's such a good idea. And I noticed Sarah Broadley's actually said here, love the cover, that sword. And I like that sort of juxtaposition of old and new. So what else? Alex says, what has been your favorite bit of the whole process? I guess self-publishing and writing. I'm not allowed to say none, Nama. It's miserable.
It's been both the best and worst bit of the whole time I've been writing. And in terms of like the best bit in terms of I feel like there's shackles off me. And I feel like I'm less inhibited and like I'm less conscious of thinking about what 100 other people are thinking while I'm typing every word. And so that's been one of the best parts of it, is sort of directing things in the direction I want to go and where I think children will appreciate.
Right.
And that's been quite empowering for me. But yeah, the bad side of that obviously is that it's on you. Everything you do is on you, and there's nobody else there to sort of bounce ideas around with. Really, like there's nobody who's, I guess, financially invested in your corner either. Like publishers, agents, and all these people are. So again, you're taking that punt completely on your own, really.
Yeah, self-belief.
Yeah, and you need a hefty dose of that. I'm getting on a wee bit, so that helps in terms of like me just saying, well, actually, I've just got to get on with things instead of, like the last 15 years or so where I've been sort of a bit more patient and waiting at the door with my empty bowl, pleading for more porridge. It's good to be able to just go and fill up my own bowl and get on with it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way of looking at it. Couple of people, Alex Page and Anna Orridge, both asked, will there be a sequel? Will there be a reprisal? And I think you said yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be. Marisa says, what was the most surprising part of self-publishing for you?
Good question. I guess like kind of what I alluded to there, like the when you doubt yourself, it can be quite lonely and you can feel a bit like it's hard to share with other people. I think there were times where I wanted to sort of talk to someone about it, and I felt like sometimes I couldn't, and I had to sort of shoulder all the responsibility myself. There's obviously there's other things as well. Like there's the challenging things which I knew about were going to be the time, the energy, the finance that you have to put into it. And I kind of knew about that up front, but even those things have been more than I expected. And I'm a very sort of energetic and enthusiastic person. I'm quite driven when I'm focused on something and so on. But even I found that very challenging. So
I think it's one of those things that whether it's trad or self, you never know what's gonna be the thing that trips you up. Marisa did also ask what the best part was, but I think you covered that with a previous question. So Arden's also asking, what's the plan for the next one? See, people love this. Will it be a series? Says Emma. See, there you go. People are already hooked. Plans for sequels, says Julie. Look at this. So Emma says, would you go to Mars if you could?
Yes. So like one of the things that kind of sparked this whole thing as well, like because I have type 1 diabetes, which in terms of like medical exclusions has been on the list previously for astronauts, and and so it's something that obviously like these days they're trying to make more accommodations for it, I'm sure. So I can't remember his name now. There is an astronaut with type 1 diabetes who went through the program.
Whoa.
And like I wrote this fantastic thing as well, and I can't remember his name now, but I'll Google it and maybe like post it or something at some point. But it's something that because of the risk of hypoglycemia, which where you can lose consciousness.
Yeah.
Like they can't really take the risk. You know, I guess it's probably like similar for, I guess, maybe other conditions, and you know, you get lots of medical. Is the army as well? Do they do that as well? Medical exclusions for certain conditions and such things because of the responsibility of what you have to do. So anyway, that was one of the things that fascinated me, was, you know, given the main character that, and her having to deal with the barriers that you know, that faces for her, and she wants to be an astronaut in the book. That's her dream, but it's the one thing she can't be. So yeah, no, that's amazing, because I don't think I particularly even thought about it, that it would be a restriction to go. So next question, Joanna says, how do you manage to teach, write, run WriteMentor, and parent? I'm going to ask you as a serious question, just because. Yeah, you just do all the things badly. So
everything badly.
If I just did one of them, I'd probably do a decent job. But yeah, it's one of those things where you're constantly doing everything less well, and it's not like it's a serious answer, because I think I think societally we have this expectation of people, and like sometimes we see you see the headline of I'm doing all these things, and you think, wow, how does this person do it? But it's like it is literally that. I'm not doing like all of you who are parents out there, I'm not being as good a parent. All of you who are teachers out there, I'm not being as good a teacher. And I'm being genuinely honest about these things. Same with writing. I don't dedicate enough time to writing. With WriteMentor, I just get you and Florian and Emily to do all the work. So
of course, we're the dog's buddies. Yeah, absolutely. Well, remember, guys, this is the person who was changing the text of his book until the last minute, because he's not a perfectionist or anything. So I'm sure you're doing better than you think you are, Stuart. I know you are. And Rebecca asked the exact same thing. She actually suggested you might have a time turner. I would think something more sci-fi, surely. Some sort of time machine, maybe a DeLorean. Like that would be helpful. So Emma's saying she really loves the book and the author's okay. That's fair. Julie says, how important was it to have your disability represented in the book? And this is Julie Farrell as well, who does, is it Inclusion? Yeah. Anyone's interested in looking that up? We can post some details about it. So yes, Julie Farrell asking, how important was it to represent your disability?
Yeah, like hugely, because it's not something I've seen much in Kidlit, and I know that there's I work in a tiny school, but we've got 3 kids with type 1 diabetes. We used to have more actually, but a few of them moved on. But yeah, like so it's something that and a lot of the time as well, it's an invisible disability, so people don't see the struggles because it's internally, it's due with your blood glucose level, so it's internally manifested. You don't often see the external symptoms unless it's severe. And it just hugely affects people. But anyway, I wanted to have someone who had the condition but was not like defined by it, and still was able to be a hero, and still able to be defiant and overcome potential odds and barriers that that are potentially in our way. And I thought that was a powerful message for young kids with type 1 diabetes to see. And as well, like this was one of the details that I loved about the cover, was that I asked Jen to make sure that the insulin pump was visible in the spacesuit. Logistically, that's probably not something that they would do. They wouldn't put a pump externally, I don't think, in a spacesuit. But for the visual representation, I thought that was important on the cover, so kids can see it and can normalize it. It's one of the things that a lot of the diabetes charities are doing well at the moment, is getting more and more people with the condition to do like photo shoots, with their pumps visible and etc. So anyway, I just thought I wanted to contribute to that. And as I said earlier, or I think you said earlier on, any money I make, I might not make any money in the book, but any money I do make, I'm going to do a 10% contribution to Diabetes UK, who are the charity I always do my various things for.
Exciting. And Crystal's ass is a good one midway through. Has it sunk in? How's it feeling? How you feeling, Stuart? We're halfway through your launch. You've just launched a book. How you feeling?
It's okay. Yeah. It's one of those things though where I think I was saying this to you the other day, just like, I guess you put in loads and loads of work over such a long period of time,
right?
That and you get excited about it in the build up, and then when it arrives, it's like, okay, it's here, and you sort of force yourself to enjoy it. You're like, I must enjoy this day, I must enjoy this moment and take it all in, and so on. And yeah, and I've loved it. It's been great. But you know, I had to take I didn't have to. I took the kids swimming this morning, and you know, I've had my wee boy who's at that age where he tries to kill himself at every opportunity. So you know, I've spent much of the day just sort of chasing after them and so on. So yeah, it's not been like one of those chill days where I've just been taking it all in. But yeah, no, it's great. It's good. It's good to have done it, and yeah, and obviously, but the thing is, it's one of those things again with it's like with any writer issue in their career, it's just about the next book now, isn't it? It's like you do one book, and then it's the next book, and then you do one book, and it's the next book, and anyone that has the idea that you just write one book and then you sit and you sort of sit and I don't know, you feel good about that the rest of your life, like that's fine for maybe for some people, but for me it's about what happens next, and so already like most of my thoughts are onto that.
Yeah. Tomorrow though, today it's about this book, tomorrow it can be about next book. Elizabeth says, what would be your number one piece of advice for anyone wanting to follow in your footsteps? I assume she means like self-publishing, but anything really. Advice.
I guess it's a tricky one because it's not for everyone what I'm doing. As I said earlier on, it comes with a lot of pressure, and that's financial, physical, mental, time, energy. It takes away from other aspects of your life, and so it has to be something that you want more than some of the other things in your life. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You have to, and I'm sitting up at half 12, 1 in the morning, and I've got school the next morning, and I'm sitting up and I'm looking at, different ways I can get my book distributed, or I'm looking at, the different ways to format my book. I'm looking at like trim sizes and, bleed sections and like all these other things. And you've got to really want that.
Yeah.
I don't think if you're just, if you're just going into it half-heartedly, you would put in that commitment. And I think that's actually one of the big problems that self-publishing has, is that I don't think everyone that self-publishes gives it that same degree of commitment. And so when something comes out that isn't as good as it should be, then, that kind of detracts from the quality a little bit. Whereas with that, obviously with a trad published book, you wouldn't get that. You'd have a team of people making sure it is as good as it can be, and people who love all that kind of other stuff. But I think you have to be really committed. And then it involves a lot of research and work, hundreds of hours, I would say, of reading, listening to podcasts, looking through other people's experiences, chatting to people. I'm lucky. I've got a few friends who have self-published, so a lot of time spent in their DMs chatting about things. And it's you got to be committed, I'd say. And then if you're looking for more like the technical side of things, the how-to and all that, I do try and talk a wee bit about that. I'm not gonna plug what WriteMentor are doing in a couple of months, but we do have a wee self-publishing thing to sort of introduce it to people coming up in April. So if anyone's seriously interested in that, then you can send us a wee message about it.
Yeah, well, I think that quite neatly answers Alicia's next question, which was, what is the first thing to put in place to make self-publishing a possibility? There's another podcast, that one, which is Stuart's other podcast that he's doing, which is ongoing, isn't it, Stuart, to get 100 reviews and 1,000 sales in the first year. So that's another thing you can do for interest in self-publishing. So I will plug you because I know you won't do it. Okay, so next question. Eddie says, in the unfortunate event you have to defend your lands from an evil race of highly intelligent, vicious hypno-snails, which book characters are you recruiting to stand by your side, and what is your weapon of choice?
So I don't know, Legolas and Gimli are a solid choice, I think.
They have their own weapons too, so
yeah, exactly. I don't think Legolas ever misses, does he? So I've got that wee sturdy dwarf next to me with his, swinging his axe. I think I'd probably recruit those two to start with. Nice. So I'll go with them.
Excellent. You could use Eva's sword as well. I'm sure she'd lend
it.
Perfect. So lots of people saying they're looking forward to a type 1 hero. So glad you stuck with lots of report. What's it feel like? You've said, I think, a little bit about it feeling a little bit overwhelming, but really exciting. Oh, here's a good one. Alex Page says, what gave you the idea for the character of T?
Oh yeah. So I love the the side characters in sci-fi, which are often like droids or artificial intelligence and so on. And I wanted one, but I wanted to, I guess, highlight the extent of the loneliness that Eva feels at times in the book. You know, and she's lost her mum, and she's got her dad, but her dad's the commander of the base, so he's always busy. And I wanted to sort of highlight that in you know, the most sort of sensitive way possible. And I thought like having like a literal voice in her ear, which is always telling her like you know, it's trying to give her good advice, it's trying to save her, it's trying to help her out. Like we all have that voice in our head, I think. But it was good to sort of literally manifest that in a way, in the form of AI. And I've actually had a really lovely message from a mum who's said that their child has those kind of voices in their head. And she said when she read out the book to the kid, she said, "Oh, that's just like me. I've got that, you know, voice in my head and so on." And if you know, and I guess if that's something people can relate to, that's nice. But I do think it highlights her loneliness, that she takes solace in the company of an AI implant in her ear.
Yeah, it's interesting with her being on another planet as well. But I love T. I remember when I read those early drafts, I was like, more of this character, please. Just
he's good.
Demanding.
Yeah, he's good.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Habon says, what have you learned about yourself as a writer during the process of creating the novel, and possibly through self-publishing? What have you learned about yourself as a writer?
Yeah, just that I always think I'm finished about 10 drafts too early. I always think, oh yeah, this is done, this book's good to go, and I'm often nowhere near that. I've also learned that like the role of a writer isn't just to write books, and as I guess, and I've spoke to a lot of traditionally published people, and they agree that more and more these days you're having to do more and more stuff, and it doesn't just involve writing. So because a lot of people say to me, oh, I don't want to do all the marketing stuff, I just want to write books, and there are a fortunate few that get to do that, but for the majority of us it involves all the other stuff. And I've learned a ton of new skills that I didn't think I would ever learn or want to learn or whatever. So yeah, loads basically, without going into all the details of everything specifically.
Absolutely loads. Yeah, I think you learn with every new project, don't you? No matter what you're doing with it, I think you learn every single time. So Anna says, will the sequel have the same setting but a different cast? So if you did a sequel, still Team Mars, but we'd look at them a wee bit. The idea for book 2 is they're a wee bit further down the line, and yes, there's a lot of other things they're dealing with at that stage. And then book 3 is a total. I won't go into it, but like book 3 is going to be a total inversion of the circumstances of book 1. Right.
Yeah, I won't go into details about it, but that's the plan anyway at the moment. But you know, I need to actually write them, so there's no point in
need
speculating.
To actually crack on and do
it. Yeah.
Amazing. And Katina's asked a question here. I saw in the chat that Katina has been barraging poor Anna with all of her questions because she thought she was writing to everyone. So I'm just going to out you right there, Katina. So what was the first children's book you remember loving as a child? I think we knew that's Lord of the Rings now, which is massive escapism, very big. Yeah. Carrie says, what do your kids think of the book?
Eva loves it.
Obviously.
I know, like some people are like, did you actually name the character after your daughter? I guess I did. Whether that was deliberate or not, but she loves it. She loves seeing her name when she comes in and sees like the big daft poster or a copy of the book or whatever. So yeah, she does. She likes it, and obviously my wee boy, he's only 2.5, so he doesn't think much about it. He likes to pick up the books and throw them. But that's about it.
That's the only thing you're getting at. So Marie's posted a question. I'm not sure if it's from her daughter, but somebody called Rose, age 10, is with Marie. Will you write a book set in another galaxy? Rose is asking.
Yes, so that's so cool you said that. So the next book I'm going to release is it's basically like a middle grade Doctor Who. And so the main character does go to alternative universes, they go to other galaxies, both future, past, and present. So yes, that is, but not with these characters, with new ones. But yes, if you're interested in that, then yeah, I'll be bringing that one out as well.
Well, it must be very exciting for Rose. So Daisy's asked, you have to say yes, no, and maybe. So Netflix deal, CBBC drama, stage play. Which one would you want the most? Which one would you say no to? Which one's a maybe? Netflix, CBBC drama, stage play.
I don't know.
Surely it's yes to all three. Can we not be greedy, Daisy?
I don't know how it would work with a stage play.
That would be amazing, actually.
yeah, you need the special effects, so it probably has to be Netflix because they have the cash, don't they? But to be able to produce something like that, but it would need to be serial, I think.
Yeah.
Rather than a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate it when they try and do books as a movie. I much prefer it when they do them as series.
We need a whole series, 17 different seasons. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not asking the world, but we've got to the bit of the chat actually where you were obviously saying that you don't do anything well enough, Stuart, because everyone's saying how much they love WriteMentor and how amazing you are and how much they're loving your book. So I'm just going to embarrass you now. But that's what everyone's saying. It's not me. So here we go. What other questions do we have? Gosh, honestly, it's just literally a wall of just praise for you, Stuart. Look at you. Yeah, Eamon's asked, do you sleep? So
not much actually. Like, and that's a genuine thing. It's not it's not like a self-flagellation thing. It's I just don't sleep much. I don't know why. I've just got this thing. Like other people in here I know actually who are night owls like me, and sometimes we message on Twitter at like midnight or something. We're all still awake doing stuff. So yeah, I don't.
No sleep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. Some people are asking if there'll be an audio book.
Yeah, so I looked at it. Audiobooks are really expensive to produce, like more than an actual book. So, well, especially if you want to get obviously an audio artist to read it, and I'm definitely not capable of doing that. So, yeah, it's probably not for now. But if like the book does well enough that it actually makes any money at any point, and there's money back in the pot, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it's funny, isn't it? Like you just have to, I guess you have to take one step at a time with this, and like that's hard for someone like me. I just want to do everything. So yeah. Anyway, don't put that idea in my head. Don't mention
that quite neatly actually answers Hazel's question, because she said who would narrate it, and Caroline suggested Robert Carlyle, of course.
Yeah.
Perfect. You just ask him as a favor. I'm sure it'd be fine. You wouldn't need to pay him a penny. So if you, oh my gosh, Alex Page's sister's in labour. So okay, Alex, thank you for coming. But oh my gosh, I hope we hear some good news soon. That's exciting. So a lot of people asking, is there anywhere we can buy a signed copy?
Yeah, so I like people. So this is where I'm a bit weird as well. Like, so the book's available for like $7.99 most places. If I was like, so the books that I've got here, if it's to sign them, then I'd have to add like more postage on to people if they wanted to buy them. So it would end up quite expensive for people, like plus 10 quid to actually buy the book. So I like, I'm feeling a bit funny about doing that. Because of that reason.
So, it can be tricky.
Yeah, I like, especially the way things are at the moment, with the economy and stuff. I don't want anyone, like, I just want people to buy the book and have fun reading it, and like, I don't want to, charge people any more than I have to. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit weird about it.
That sounds like you feeling weird about signing your own books.
Yeah. No, like I don't mind signing the book, but so it might be something I do at some point. But like when I worked out the costs of it, it was like I don't think I can morally charge that much for a paperback. Yeah, no, I totally understand. Although everyone is saying they would pay millions of pounds for a signed copy because all the super fans are here. I think we're getting towards the end of the chat. I think somebody just asked further up, but I've actually lost the question now. But they were just asking, would you consider traditional publishing, or if somebody, wanted to maybe publish Ghosts of Mars, is it something you consider, or are you self-published all the way? I'm pretty set on it at the moment, but
right.
I don't know, if someone says here's some cash that'll pay off your mortgage, we'll stick this book in some
you'd say no, obviously.
I don't know, that's tough. That like,
it is a really tough question.
Well, yeah, because it's like real life stuff, isn't it? If it can help me out on that side of things, then I wouldn't let my pride get in the way of that. But I'm pretty set on it. Yeah.
And you've done such a good job that I think everyone can agree. Like, really, does it? I don't think at this point you can even tell the difference, because it's such an amazing cover. Jen's done such a good job. You've had these amazing editors.
Yeah, Although I did spot that this is terrible. I'm so like I'm really bad for this, but I was rereading it and I spotted that I'd missed a word on a page. And like the sentence still sort of makes sense without it, but I'm like, that really annoyed me.
That happens all the time, though. I think
I know. No, I've read traditionally published books that's happened with. I know that, but it's still, it's one of those things, isn't it? Where it can happen. I'm just waiting for my Amazon review where someone highlights that to me.
Well, I think we've got lots and lots of people now saying that they would very happily meet you as well for a signed copy, but you're very busy, clearly. So who knows if we can get 5 minutes with Stuart White? Who knows? Robert Stuart White. There's just no way of knowing. I think just the very last question was just up here. Katina said, when you were saying about Lord of the Rings being your favorite book, were there any books when you were littler that you liked, younger?
We didn't really have kids' books in my house, and that's why like Lord of the Rings was the first thing I gravitated towards. I wouldn't have said I was a big reader either until I got to my teen years.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's when I kind of started, and it was a bit of an escape from my life though at that point, to be honest. That's where books came from. I think if I'd had a sort of sweet and happy upbringing, then I maybe wouldn't have gravitated towards it. It's a bit one of those weird things where the books are your escape from reality. But yeah, anyway, and I think that's why I write what I do, is because I want kids who maybe are in that situation to have an escape from the reality for a while.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a really nice question, actually, and answer to finish off on. So I think, Florian, did you have anything to say about where we can find Stuart's book if anybody hasn't got a copy?
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, Stuart's given so much to the writing community, as you all know. So yeah, if you're able to support him, you can buy his book from anywhere that you can buy books, Amazon, Waterstones, and also bookshops. And also like Stuart's, as Melissa mentioned, his project, the 1100 project, which is really exciting, and which you can follow his podcast. So don't forget, guys, to review the book and also to share it on socials. I mean, like marketing gear now, but yeah, share the cover or your copy on socials, and don't forget to review. But yeah, there's been so many people here supporting the launch, so I'm sure there'll be so many more people supporting the book and all your future writing. And yeah, I won't embarrass you, Stuart, with any like final gooey words, but I just think the number of people here is such a testament to how amazing you are as a writer and as a person, and that this marks the start of a really successful writing career for you, and also a happy writing career that's not full of stress. So also take some time for yourself. So thank you guys for coming. Stuart, do you want to say any last words? Just
to echo that, just to say thanks to everyone for coming and for all the support that I always get. It's nice. It's nice. I don't always feel like I fully deserve everything, but it's nice to have that and to know that people are in your corner, because it's a tough gig. We all know that. Writing's. I was about to say a slogan there from our website, but it can be quite a lonely thing, and you can feel isolated at times. So to have a big community of people that always support me is something that's hugely important to me, and I really value and treasure it.
Yay. Oh, amazing. And I can see Hazel's daughter has your book, by the way. I can see she was holding it. She was waiting very patiently because I think she was quite excited to show you. But
oh, nice.
Yes, I can see. And Ian's got the book. Everyone's holding up their books now.
Oh my gosh, loads of people.
That's so
I know. Mine's on Kindle. It's really bad, but it's coming from Waterstones. I don't know if anyone else has had the same Waterstones, but yes, everyone's saying, and everyone's wishing you every success, Stuart. So yes, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm sure everyone's saying thank you for Stuart writing this amazing book and letting us read it. And we're really excited to see where it goes.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I'll let you all pop off now because I think it's just about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.